Hello, I am NJ Franco, twice published author with another two books on the way, and this is how I outline a book. So, first off, this is going off the assumption that you have spent a decent amount of time brainstorming your idea. Me personally, I like to spend at least a month brainstorming the idea, writing down every thought about the book that I have before I start actually outlining it. Now, once it's time to outline it, what I will do is I will open up a Word document and I will write chapter one. Sometimes, if I have a name for that chapter in mind already, I'll write the name next to it as well. But if not, I'll just write chapter one. And then I will make a bunch of bullet points of all the minor events that need to happen in chapter one. And I will then, once I got chapter one outlined, I'll then hit enter a bunch of times and I will write last chapter. I won't even give that one a number. I will just write last chapter. And then I will start, again, bullet points of all the minor events that need to happen in the last chapter. So now I know how the story is going to begin, and now I know how it's going to end, which was always my biggest problem before I started outlining, is I would get an idea in my head, I would start typing up the manuscript, and then I would just get lost because I had no idea where the story was going to end. And so I would eventually get bored because I didn't know where to end the story. So that's why I always come up with a beginning and an end, a starting point and an ending point before I start writing the manuscript. So now I have my beginning and my end. So what I will then do is I will then bring my cursor up to somewhere between the first chapter that I outlined and the last chapter that I outlined, and I will start filling in all the gaps. How do I get from chapter one to the last chapter? I'm like, okay, so chapter two, here's all the minor events that need to happen in chapter two. Chapter three, here's all the minor events that need to happen in chapter three, and I'll just fill in, just have a bunch of major events outlined with minor events, getting from my first chapter to my last chapter. And that might seem like a fairly simple idea, but it's what works for me, and I highly encourage you try it. If you've never outlined a book and you struggle to finish writing a manuscript like I have, um, just try outlining, because it was a night and day difference for me. I made 5 attempts to write a book before I started outlining. All 5 of those books failed. I have since then written 4 books with outlining, and I completed every single one of them. Made such a huge difference for me. So if you've never outlined a book and you want to finish a book, try outlining. It might work for you.